We haven't gone and played yet though today either. Oh, and Star's been chasing chipmunks, so she's staring out the window. Okay, so Freedom's Challenge. Chelsea Layell Kennedy, Voice of Democracy, English 12, October 10th, 2006. Nervously I trembled as he stood glaring at me with dark, bold eyes, for he knew the precise reasons of my being there. I as well knew exactly why I was standing, seemingly alone, in a small and mysterious room. It was not too late. However, this would be my final opportunity to walk away. The exit was only 10 feet to my right. No, stop it, I scolded myself. I can do this. I want to do this. Those thoughts raced through my mind as a confident man with broad shoulders and impeccable posture stood before me with complete composure and instructed me to raise my right hand and repeat after him. Then it was over. The ceremony was official and complete. Though it seemed easy, I still could not prevent myself from shaking, for this decision changed my life forever. It is impossible to forget the day I joined the armed forces. Though it was entirely overwhelming, an indescribable sense of pride immediately took over, due to the indisputable fact that I had willingly volunteered to fight for this grand, majestic country. No, I don't want to die for you, but if dying is asked of me, I'll bear that cross with honor, because freedom don't come free. Those lyrics to a well-known Toby Keith song flooded my thoughts, for those words had suddenly become my reality. I now serve the people of the United States and live the Army values. I am a guardian of freedom and the American way of life. As proud as I was equally terrified. The truth of the matter is, it did not start nor end on that summer day. When the brave soldiers fought in the Revolutionary War and gave us the independence and freedoms we treasure, that is where it truly began. It is now 2006, and there are nearly 400,000 troops stationed overseas in roughly 20 different countries. All for one cause, our freedom. Freedom's challenge today is to merely maintain our freedom. Not a single day passes where men and women of our great country do not place their lives on the line to preserve the freedoms we so easily take for granted. Freedom, without a doubt, is defined as being without restraints. Freedom means no strings attached. The best definition to describe challenge is the test of one's ability. An opposition. Americans in our generation are constantly having their freedoms challenged in several different ways. For instance, ongoing interruptions of peace throughout the world make it difficult to not be concerned. In some way, everyone who cherishes the liberties and privileges we have is drawn in and involved in the turmoil. I have chosen to be involved by becoming a member of the armed forces. Through this decision, I have dedicated myself to protecting my freedom, as well as the freedom of my family, friends, and many people I do not know. Time after time, America has endured freedom's challenge. Thus far, America has always maintained what is rightfully hers. September 11th, 2001 was, and still continues, 5 years later, to be a great challenge to freedom and a threat to our American way of life. After this terrible disaster, our freedom of privacy slowly started to deteriorate. Now the government can interfere within our lives by poking through our luggage, listening and recording our conversations, and tracking our every move. We strive to make our country a safe place to live, receive education, raise a family, and practice religion. Freedom's challenge is upholding our efforts to preserve the foundations America was established on. Unfortunately, the words of President Bush, "America is safer, but not yet safe," are accurate. Freedom's challenge is changing those words to "America is now safe, and the United States of America provides a safe haven to live freely." Indeed, the greatest current challenge to our freedom is terrorism. Yet, all Americans need to initiate a sense of pride in our country as well as in themselves. In a recent poll, citizens of America are more scared of being a crime victim than being a victim of terrorism. Domestic crimes attack our freedoms each and every day. The crime scare has taken away the freedom of walking down the street with a sense of security. It has individuals constantly on defense to protect themselves, their families, and their possessions. Freedom's challenge is not only protecting us from outside predators, it is also protecting us from violence within our walls, our own walls. On the other hand, another constant challenge to our freedom is restraints on public prayers. For a country founded on religion, one nation under God, prayer has become a national concern. The pledge, both a patriotic oath and public prayer, is under attack because saying God has been described as discrimination toward those who are not believers. Yet, in all reality, this can be considered a form of reverse discrimination towards those who believe in the power of prayer. The controversy of public prayer has become a hindrance to our freedom of speech, the first freedom granted to us in the Bill of Rights. Freedom's challenge is enforcing our right to our individual beliefs and protecting our freedom of speech. Proudly, I am unable to hear America's national anthem without goosebumps rising on my arms and shivers tingling down my spine. Are our aspirations to maintain our freedoms at all costs not the sense of pride we wish for our future generations? Freedom's challenge is merely maintaining the freedoms guaranteed to American citizens in the Constitution. Daily attacks are made against our freedoms, leaving it entirely up to us as Americans to uphold our freedoms and not back down to terrorism, domestic crime and violence, or freedom to voice our religious beliefs. After all, if we don't stand for something, we will fall for everything. As citizens of the United States of America, let us stand up against freedom's challenge, or the land of the free and the home of the brave.